Coming up on this week's news, the first official guidance on the touch potential of EV chargers has been unveiled. Sales of solar and heat pumps soar as the war in the Middle East rages, and the results are in from the big eFIXX poll on plug-in solar. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly, whether you're listening in the van, on-site or down at the wholesale counter. I'm Joe Robinson, and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. We're being lit by Flex 7 with their lightning-fast pre-wired modular lighting connection system that keeps your installation times razor sharp. And this week's challenge word competition is supported by the good people at Brady. If you need a label, they've got a printer, and so much more. If you think you've spotted the two words that I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win this exclusive cap branded with friends of the show Quickwire and Chump Tools. And while you're there, click the links in the show notes to check out what our sponsors offer. The first official guidance on the touch potential of EV chargers has been unveiled. It's been published by the Highway Electrical Association. The move follows growing alarm in the trade and among local councils over the risk of electric shock from on-street charging. The concern stems from the possibility of simultaneous contact between the body of electric vehicles and other vehicles or street furniture such as a metal lamppost or telecoms cabinet. Unless the two items are connected to the same distribution systems, there is a danger, in a fault, of a high voltage difference between them. But the problem is it's often impossible to tell if they're on the same system. Additionally, with on-street parking, it's difficult to guarantee that another vehicle connected to a different electrical system won't be parked next to the first one. And under previous advice, if you don't know, in theory, you can't proceed with the installation. That's the reason that some local authorities have been hesitant to give the green light to cross-pavement charging systems. But now, the Highway Electrical Association has stepped in with the first comprehensive advice for the trade in the shape of a 14-page guidance note. The key principle is that under BS 7671, all simultaneously accessible conductive parts must either be bonded to the same earthing system or prevented from being touched together. Exporting a domestic earth such as PME or TNCS via an electric vehicle onto the public highway is a major risk factor. This is especially true near items with independent earth such as streetlights and telecoms cabinets. Therefore, you should first aim to place all accessible conductive parts on a common earthing system so no voltage difference exists. This requires accurate information and coordination with your DNO. You also need to think about long-term maintenance to prevent divergence of earth systems in the future. Second, you need to ensure that any potentially different earthing systems are beyond arm's reach to prevent simultaneous contact. The guidance here is that the gap is at least 2.5 metres. The HEA acknowledges that this can be challenging in practice. That's because of long charging leads, constrained urban locations, and increasingly, the proximity of EVs to other EVs in the street. Third, consider insulation and other barriers. For instance, you could use non-conductive materials, coatings or enclosures to prevent contact with live metal parts. This is effective as a supplementary control, but it needs durability, inspection and maintenance to ensure it stays robust into the future. Finally, protective devices such as open pen conductor detection devices or OPDDs can detect fault conditions and disconnect the supply automatically. They're useful for enabling PME systems, but remember, they only mitigate specific faults. In summary, no single solution is sufficient. You have to do a risk assessment and then implement the right mix of measures. I've put a link to the full guidance document in the show notes. The document will be valuable because it looks like the demand for on-street charging is about to soar. That's because Brits are switching to renewables in record numbers in the face of a global energy crisis. Octopus Energy says it's recorded its biggest ever month for inquiries and sales. EV charger sales grew by 20%. Revenues from photovoltaics shot up 54% as homeowners supersized their solar installations. The number of heat pumps shifted wasn't too shabby either. They climbed 51% as homeowners quit oil and gas. Octopus's electric vehicle division has seen a 36% increase in EV inquiries since the conflict began. The company said its customers were no longer browsing, but buying. What began as a spike in interest is turning into a full-blown installation boom. The company has launched a fast-track heat pump service for households with oil-fired boilers. It says it will replace them in just 10 days from the initial quote to the final installation. Google Trends shows searches for solar are up 20% and heat pumps are up 30%, with users trying to understand how heat pumps work. In news to make you toot your kazoo, experts say the market for solar will truly go mainstream when plug-in solar packs start arriving in the shops. Energy Secretary Ed Miliband gave the green light to the controversial technology last month, but electrical industry bodies, including the ECA and the IET, fret over the safety aspects of the tech. The IET says householders considering plug-in PV should get their household wiring checked by an electrician first. It also points out that they're not yet legal to use in the UK. That's because regulators are still assessing how they can be safely integrated integrated into domestic installations. But in a special eFIXX survey of the trade, you gave plug-in solar the big thumbs up emoji. Out of 2,700 votes, 63% voted yes, 15% aren't sure, and 22% said they didn't want it in the UK. Now, don't forget, Schneider has unveiled the 2026 version of its hugely popular Score to Win promotion. In this exciting new game, installers must beat the keeper from the penalty spot as many times as they can to win points. And what do points mean? Prizes, of course. This year there are Premier League hospitality tickets up for grabs as well as signed football shirts. In fact, one contractor will take away a framed 1986 Argentina football shirt signed by Diego Maradona himself. Simply spend a minimum of £250 on Schneider Electric products in one transaction at any participating wholesaler. You'll then be given the opportunity to play a virtual game of skill involving kicking a football into a goal. There'll even be a public leaderboard so you can see how your mates are doing. I'll put a link to the terms and conditions in the show notes. And just a quick one on Green Cable, who by now should be a familiar name if you watch the show. Yes, they'll take away your scrap in their distinctive green wheelie bins, which we've all come to know and love, but they're also taking on some seriously large-scale collections. Just this week, they completed a 3-ton pickup from St Pancras, right in the middle of London, with all its challenges of tight access, a busy site, and all the usual headaches, and they're not finished yet, with another 3 to 6 tons still to come out of this critical refurbishment project. Not only that, they're also serving justice. They've just begun serving a solar farm management company that's been throwing scrap cable into paid-for skips. The problem is that cable possesses notable value, and so the skip company gets paid to remove it, then paid again when they sell it on. No doubt while placing down payments on second homes in the Maldives. Green Cable stepped in, assessed the material they were disposing of, and are now paying the client a competitive price for it, while collecting it from each of their operating farms across England. A waste disposal cost that was previously racking up thousands in costs every year has now become a revenue stream worth tens of thousands. So instead of paying to lose money, you could be getting paid for scrap instead. If that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what is. Click the link in the show notes and make sure you're not leaving money in a skip. And while we're on all things green, check out the brand new range of green eye motion sensors from Legrand's CP Electronics arm. Designed with ease of install, commissioning and use in mind, along with 75% recycled packaging, they'll cut carbon, reduce costs and help you specify efficient, future-ready buildings. It's not just green eye, it'll help to make a green you. Now, if you're heading to the Fire Safety Event 2026 at the NEC in Birmingham later this month, we'd recommend you check out AJAX's stand in Hall 4. That's because the brand is unveiling its new fully wireless integrated fire detection and alarm system. The EN54 line is aimed at commercial and municipal spaces. As the name implies, it's certified to EN54. The hub can manage up to 200 wireless AJAX devices such as detectors, sounders and visual alarm devices. It can support up to 40 fire zones. Mobile and desktop apps ensure that setup is easy. You can also use them to remotely manage and monitor the system. A touchscreen interface shows any fire alarm notifications and along with the devices has built-in communicators. The system gives you a unique opportunity to combine EN54 fire detection with an EN50131 Grade 2 intruder alarm, automation and video in one platform. Next up, how would you like a downlight that can change colour temperature with just a twist of the bezel? That's the latest innovation from AllLED. The Spartan Pro features what the brand calls the revolutionary rotor lens. By twisting it, you can change the light from a warm 3000 Kelvin to a neutral 4000 Kelvin, and finally to a cooler 6500 Kelvin. You can also switch between power ratings of 4 watts and 6 watts. We think it's unique in the market. The downlight is also fire rated for either 30, 60 or 90 minutes for timber joists, 30 and 90 minutes for eye joists, and 30 minutes for metal web joists. You can cover it with insulation and it has an ingress protection of IP44. The snap-on bezel comes in 7 colours to fit any interior. Now, how about this for a bright idea? It's the Paul Russell's lamp of the week. This time we're shouting for this cool white golf ball. This dimmable light source replaces the 40-watt incandescent lamps of old, except it draws just 5.5 watts of energy to get the same output of 470 lumens. The colour temperature is 4000 Kelvin and it features a small Edison screw base, and it'll last for around 15,000 hours, almost as long as a round of golf. Now, it's that great moment where we get to celebrate the sterling work being done by the next generation. Our Learner of the Week slot is brought to you by XS Training with their online electrical courses for beginners and experienced sparks, covering inspection and testing, solar, battery storage, EV charging, and their specialism NVQs and AM2 online prep. And our learner this week is Zahir Hussain. He's a level 2 student at New City College. Zahir has shown real dedication and pride in developing his practical skills. His work demonstrates a real understanding of installation installation techniques, particularly with metal conduit. He's done 4-point saddles and offsets, and he's even tackled the notoriously tricky U-bend. He says he wants to improve his cable management and space planning in consumer units. Zahir is the youngest in his class and already producing work he can be proud of. The force is definitely strong in this one. All the best, Zahir, in your electrical career, and congratulations on being the eFIXX Learner of the Week in association with XS Training. Click the link in the show notes to view their wide range of courses. Now, if you're looking to break into the industry, we can help. eFIXX has set up a dedicated LinkedIn group for people training in electrical installation. It's aimed at apprentices, full-time learners and adults training in the evening. Just log on to LinkedIn and search for UK electrician apprenticeships and career support. I'll also put a link in the show notes. If you're an employer looking to offer work experience or an electrical apprenticeship, we can help too. Just reach out to the team at eFIXX and we'll do our best to connect you with motivated learners in your area. Another way we're celebrating the young people of our industry is in the eFIXX 30 Under 30 competition. It's now open for nominations, and there's a whole lot of kudos if you get selected. So if you know someone special, you have until Monday the 13th of April to put their name in the hat. That's sooner than you think, so get voting. I've popped the nomination link in the show notes. And now, to the lighter side of the electrical news. Yes, it's time for a tea break with Quickwire and its range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. The UK's first scheduled electric flights have taken off in Scotland. The Royal Mail is using the EV planes to deliver post from Glasgow to Dundee. The aircraft is made by American firm Beta Technologies. It can operate from existing runways without new infrastructure and can recharge in around 20 to 40 minutes using fast charging systems. It has a range of more than 300 nautical miles and a payload capacity of up to 560 kilos. So remember, your next charger install could be at an airfield, not a driveway. That's the light side of the news in our tea break with Quickwire and their range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. Click the link in the description to check them out for yourself. And just a quick update on our very own team of winners, Feinden Volta Under 12 Girls, captained by Ava and proudly sponsored by eFIXX, powered into the final in their debut season with an 8-game unbeaten run. A strong start saw Lauren, assisted by Miley, open scoring before Morsley levelled. The response? Electric. Lauren struck again, this time assisted by Jay Dean before completing a 4-goal haul with Holly and Daisy supplying. A true team performance with Daisy also earning player of the match and Lauren taking parents player. Big credit to all involved, including the ever-reliable Colin on the line. On to the final. Now, just before we get to your favourite bit of the show where I reveal last week's challenge words and winners, we want to thank our premium partners. We couldn't make the news without you. First up, empowering their customers to harness power through light with their intelligent energy solutions, solar technology and advanced lighting systems, it's LEDvance. One of our favourite new innovations here at eFIXX, especially now it's in sexy new packaging for rock-solid fixings in flimsy materials. Don't just fix it when you can chump fix it with chump tools. And the best thing to come out of Yorkshire since stainless steel, the home of EV Ultra and other groundbreaking and quality products, is Doncaster Cables. Click the links in the show notes to find out more about these great brands. If you think you've spotted the words I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments. We'll take all the correct guesses and select one at random to be the winner of an eFIXX goodie bag prize. Answers submitted after midnight on the Wednesday after release will not be entered into the draw. Now let's reveal the winners of last week's challenge word competition, as sponsored by Brady. Remember, if you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. Click the link in the description to view their incredible range. Last week's words were kryptonite and mandolin, and the name to be drawn out of our electronic hat was, deep breath, Persian Chili Bali Malba. Well done to you. I've no idea how to shorten that name, so just click the link in the show notes to claim your prize. And now over to a brand new feature. It's the weather with Joe Hammond and Fox ESS.
This week's featured installer comes from Kane from Cass Solar Services in Leicester, sending in some seriously tidy work, clean installs and everything exactly where you would want it, and perfect timing as well, depending where they are. From Tuesday, the UK actually behaved itself. England and Wales are looking bright and warm, pushing into the high teens, which means strong solar prospects and a proper chance to generate some decent free lecky. Tuesday into Wednesday, that is your window. Good sunshine, steady output and ideal conditions to get installs wrapped up and systems earning straight away. But further north it turns quickly. Scotland, especially the Highlands, sees more cloud building than wind and rain by the end of the week. It's great for wind generation, but not so great if you're out on a roof, so indoors might be the smarter play. Heading into the weekend, it all drops off. More cloud, scattered showers and a noticeable dip in solar generation. So hit it early, make the most of the sunshine, then let the battery take over when the weather turns.
Thanks for that update, Joe. This week we've been lit by Flex 7 with their lightning fast pre-wired modular lighting connection system that keeps your installation times razor sharp. Don't forget to click the links in the show notes to find out more. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week. Stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque calibrated arm.